There ain't no better place to be a thought than at NBA All-Star. It's all kinds of shenanigans down there, just floating in the air, but the non-thought in me wouldn't allow it.
I don't hear nobody out there. Hold it down.
I be looking all disheveled on camera because Saturday be my day off and I like to just lounge around on Saturday. I'm in the medical field. So if any of you in the medical field, you know that motherfucker wears you out and you always seize the day that you can just lay around and be lazy. Okay, but I enjoy giving you the books because I know that you all enjoy receiving these books. So forgive me if I'm not always on camera or looking my best on camera. I can't remember the last time I got dressed up to get in front of the goddamn camera. Hell, it had to be right when I started working, and that's been months ago. Let's get to, what is this? Faith Evans. Keep the faith. At the same time that I was making these major changes, Tupac Shakur was making some major changes as well. Suge Knight and his attorney, David Kenner, bailed Tupac out of prison in October 1995. This is when Suge made a deal with Tupac. Hey, I'll bail you out. You need to come to death row. And I think it is deplorable that Tupac, at the height of his career, didn't have enough money to bail his own self out. And he got caught up with that bullshit. The fact that Tupac had to make a deal with the devil in order to get out of jail is despicable. And it is an example of how fucked up the music industry was at the time and how people were financially taking advantage of him. Because how this boy don't have enough money to get out of jail, but he on the charts. What is that? Y'all, my bad. Give me a pause right quick. I remember watching a Joe Torre interview on some platform. My bad for not remembering the platform. My bad. It could have been DJ Vlad. I don't know, right? But I remember Joe Torre talking about how Tupac was actually broke when he was filming Poetic Justice. How is this possible? How is this ninja? Actually, you know what? It is very possible. It's very possible that he was filming and not having a goddamn dime. And he was affiliating himself with people who had money. People were paying him to hang out with them or paying for his comforts while he hung out with them. And a lot of them was gangsters. The alarm clock that started ticking the night he was shot at Quad Studios was getting closer and closer to going off. I'd lived in Los Angeles with Kai and his crew when I was still a teenager. So by the time I started traveling back and forth to California for songwriting sessions and performances, it didn't feel like a foreign land the way it did for some folks on the East Coast. It was in Los Angeles that I really discovered how popular I was. I was in LA one weekend to work on music, and I decided to go out with my good friend Tony, whom I'd known since the days at the Oakwood. Missy was in town as well, and she came out with us. We went to a nightclub together, and when we pulled up, there was a line down the street. We're not getting in there, I told Tony and Missy. There is no way. As soon as we got out of the car, we heard my song, You Used to Love Me, pulsating from within the club. Girl, you crazy, Tony said. That's your song. We in this mother hunchy tonight. And sure enough, as soon as we got near the door, they waved us in. We had a great time. After one party, I went back to my hotel and I was told I had a message. It was from Roger, the NBA player I'd hooked up with in New Orleans. I called him back at the number he left for me. "How are you?" I asked. "I'll be better if you come and see me." "Where are you?" "I'm staying at the Ritz-Carlton. I'm in town for the NBA All-Star game." Ooh, ain't nothing like NBA All-Star. Ooh. I remember when I told y'all I was like a blur from like my 20s to like my 30s. Ooh, I started picking up. I think by the time I was 33, I remember that first NBA All-Star, or first and only NBA All-Star I went to down there in Houston, Texas. Oh, there ain't no better place to be a thought than at NBA All-Star. It's all kinds of shenanigans down there, just floating in the air, but the non-thought in me wouldn't allow it. I'm staying at the Ritz-Carlton. I'm in town for the NBA All-Star game. "I don't know, Roger. I'll see you at 10. I did go to Roger's room that night, and we picked up right where we'd left off in New Orleans. There weren't any fireworks, but I did actually like Roger. He was a Southern boy, so he was sweet and mannered. He made me laugh, and his appreciation of my music made me feel good. But I knew there was no long-term potential there." Girl, I know what it's like when you do way too much hunching and ain't nothing getting accomplished. Interesting enough, I remember telling him that I was married but separated. He had to know who my husband was. "I told you, girl, he know who your husband is, because it's NBA players lining up every day to hunch on a rapper's wife or baby mama or girlfriend. Girl, that's what they do. They stand in line." He had to know who my husband was, but any conversations about that were really brief, and he didn't seem to be worried about it, although he should have been. But I was very careful. Although we didn't see each other much at all, I did end up meeting his mother when I visited his hometown. If that got back to Big, I knew there would be problems. During that same trip to LA, I met a producer I'm going to call Terry Dollars. Terry was working with a singing group who had been recently signed to a major record label. He asked me if I'd be interested in writing for the group and helping them in the studio. I arranged to meet the girls at his home in Sherman Oaks. Terry and I ended up having sex a few times as well. I love how Faith is open about the bodies, okay? Because Faith, girl, you got a lot of bodies. I ain't even mad. I'm telling y'all. I got some bodies, but not a lot of bodies, okay? Like I said, my pussy wasn't hot. It was just lukewarm. And I applaud Faith's transparency. She ain't sugarcoating it. I gave this vagina out while I was married to Biggie Smalls. Hell, he was giving that dick out, but it's a double standard for us, girl. We just supposed to sit at home and knit and cook macaroni and cheese and cry. One night, I went out with the girls in the singing group, Terry and some of my old friends from the Oakwood, including Curtis. We went to the Hollywood Athletic Club, a well-known spot for hanging out and people watching. As soon as I got settled inside, I saw Treach from the group Naughty by Nature. I knew Treach well. He was from my hometown, and we used to hang out together occasionally. He was very cool. Queen Latifah was a mutual friend. I was also cool with Treach's then girlfriend, Pepper, from the rap group Salt and Pepper. We exchanged hugs and greetings, and I introduced Treach to my friends. "Somebody here wants to meet you," Treach said. "Who?" I asked. I was out in LA working, not performing, so most people didn't know I was in town. "My boy Tupac wants to say what's up," Treach said, gesturing to a table behind him. Pause. This is when I say all this bullshit happened because of Treach. Now, I know Treach and Biggie ain't best friends, But I'm like, just as a man, I would be like, you about to fuck with Tupac? Because if anybody knows that there's some kind of East Coast, West Coast riff going on, Treach, being Faith's air quote friends, should say, girl, you know what's popping right now? I mean, there's tension between the East and West Coast. I know I'm from the East Coast, but I ain't got shit to do with that. But you know, Puffy and Biggie, just that whole bad boy situation, I don't know, girl. But, man, it's up to you. I would at least have put that warning out there. And I know y'all feeling like, nay, you taking up for Faith. It may appear to be that way to you, but me and Faith got a lot of things in common. We've been very, very stupid in certain situations, believing that things may be harmless or seeking attention from what or who is that ninja, and it puts us in bad situations. At this age, 50 plus, okay, I realized that a lot of the situations that I put myself in as a child or a young person doesn't mean that I deserve those situations, but a lot of it had to do with wanting attention from that it dude. Not that I wanted to sleep with them. It was just I wanted that attention. And I believe that if what Treach says is true, I believe that Faith may have wanted attention from Tupac just to get a rise out of her husband. You want to play dirty? Well, then I'm going to play dirty.
Now, this is a famous picture. You guys got it on the group chat? Remember the group chat? They put it out there? It's a picture with you, Pac, and Faith.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sitting down, right, I think?
Is that picture photoshopped?
No. No.
Okay.
No, we was in the same party. And
oh, so that's a party. That's not a private setting. Okay.
No, that's a party.
Okay.
There's a party in a section, and we were all there. Pac was like,
and you know Faith from Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, yo, Pac, like, I want to do a song with a boom boom boom. This.
Okay.
Like,
so hold on. Let me stop you, Treach. Because this is the famous incident.
And I never, they tried to pay me to do a part of a documentary to talk about this, and I didn't take it.
Okay.
But I talked to you.
That's right. Goddamn it. So this is at a party because how is always understood that this was a studio session.
No.
Okay, that picture.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
So,
So we were there, and Faith wasn't in our area at first, but then she did the Jersey shit to me. Faith hood.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Tiny.
Oh, she called you Tiny? Oh, I respect that.
Trigger, Tiny Trigger. Either or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yo, trying to do I'm trying to do something about. Introduce me to Pac.
Right.
I said, all right, I'll be right back. This me. This Faith right on me. Like, nigga, you ain't coming back. Pac, this Faith, this Pac. No, let's take this picture. Back then it was like Polaroids and shit. But the camera dude that was there, so that was like a Polaroid. So that ain't AI.
Right.
That's facts. I would tell you.
Wow.
I would tell you.
Holy moly, guacamole.
Yeah. Man, so Pac disrespectful ass, whatever he wanted to do.
Right.
You know,
right.
Because if they was beefing, then he got Faith number. So anything happened after that, nigga, yeah, they said I introduced him. Yeah, I did, nigga. Don't act like I introduced him like, yeah, I'm trying to get with Pac, I'm trying to Pac, like, yo, I'm trying to fuck. It wasn't like that. It was on bow. Y'all go ahead and bow.
All right.
Yeah.
And did you think that moment would have led to... Because were they beefing prior to that? I don't know. I'm asking this out of ignorance.
No, it's nigga. We know niggas.
Right.
We know the hood. We know rich folks. We know motherfuckers be all over and everything. Shit don't really surprise us no more.
Men is what you say.
Certain shit don't surprise. Nigga, if motherfuckers right there, you go. Even if I said no, Faith, fuck you, nigga. I'm over. She would have still went over there now. No, if I'm the scapegoat, I introduced them. Nigga, they were right next to each other. They were gonna introduce each other.
All right.
My boy Tupac wants to say what's up. Treach said, gesturing to a table behind him. Before I go any further, let me be absolutely clear on something. Many people have asked me why I wouldn't peel off in the opposite direction when I heard Tupac's name. And the answer is simple. There was no need.
Hey, do my favorite go-go song. Taking a ride on the east side, made a left on MLK. What a beautiful day, what a beautiful day. Riding high on the west side, looking for a hood rat to play. Won't you come out and play? Won't you come out and play? Hey, taking a ride. Hey, hey, on the south side. Ooh, ooh. MLK. Hey, hey, hey. We like that, oh God.